Awaken Kids! How are you today? Are you guys ready for another episode of Kidz Church in your house? Here we go. We're gonna start straight away with worship. So let's get up, let's get ready to dance. Off we go to go praise God.
Come on, let's praise him together. I want to see you moving. Come on. In the chaos, when I'm far away, I can hear you. I'll never be the same. God, you're calling out my name, 'cause you love me. God, you lead me when I've lost my way. You'll never leave me, you never let me stray. When I call you, God, you won't delay, 'cause you love me, 'cause you love me. Forever I will lift my voice, forever you will be my choice. Forever I will stand for you, I'm giving you all of me, I'm giving you all of me. Hey. Come on, I will follow. I will follow in your ways, 'cause your promise, no, it never fades. You're right beside me, you're never far away, 'cause you love me, 'cause you love me. Forever I will lift my voice, forever you will be my choice. Forever I will stand for you, I'm giving you all of me, I'm giving you all of me. Out of the darkness into your light, my heart surrenders to your desire. You gave me purpose, so I give my life. I'm giving you all of me. Out of the darkness and into the light, my heart surrenders to your design. You gave me purpose, so I give my life. I'm giving you all of me. Yeah. Forever I will lift my voice, forever you will be my choice. Forever I will stand for you, I'm giving you all of me, I'm giving you all of me. Forever I will lift my voice, forever you will be my choice. Forever I will stand for you, I'm giving you all of me, I'm giving you all of me. Hey, come on. Giving you all of me, I'm giving you all of me. Hey, I'm giving you all of me, I'm giving you all of me.
Great job worshiping, you guys. All right, we're gonna go straight to our Bible verse and we're gonna go see Mr. Miguel and Mr. Beatbox. We're talking about faith and trusting God today. We've got so many fun things coming your way. Mr. Christian's coming your way. We've got a little bit of goofy things for you. All right, let's go check out what the Bible has to say about how we have faith in God and trust him.
Hi friends, are you guys ready for today's Bible verse? Sweet. All right, we have a special guest again. That's right, it's Little Beat. Help me call him out. A little beat, a little beat. Hey!
Hey, I faced the right way this time.
Yes, you did. You ready for that beat?
I sure am.
Let's hear it. All right, here we go. Isaiah 26:3 says, "You will keep in perfect peace all who trust in you, all whose thoughts are fixed on you." Ha! Thank you, man. I'll see you later, Little
All
Beat.
right.
All right, let's learn the dance. Don't forget to rewind it if you need to practice. Here we go. First, I'm gonna teach the legs, then the arms, then we'll put everything together and do it with Little Beat. Here we go. First thing we're gonna do with our legs, we're gonna hold perfectly still. First thing we're gonna do is you're gonna step touch with the right foot first, going towards the right. Right, touch, then to the left, touch. Let's do it one more time. 5, 6, step, touch to the right. Step, touch, step, touch. You guys are pros. All right, check this out. I'm gonna do it with the words. So stand still until I tell you which words to use, okay? All right, with the words, you will keep in perfect peace all who trust in you, all whose thoughts are fixed on you. That's it. 2-step touches, that's the feat. Easiest thing we've ever done. All right, let's do it again. 5, 6, with the words, go. You will keep in perfect peace all who trust in you, all whose thoughts are fixed on you. All right, so the magic word for the legs is all, all right? You move on all. What's the word? All, good. All right, let's do it. 5, 6, just the legs, go. You will keep in perfect peace all who trust in you, all whose thoughts are fixed on you. That's it. All right, friends, now let's do the hands. The first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna grab both hands, point them straight up, okay? That's the first move. Second move is you're gonna point right at me. So point right at me. Perfect. Now, the next thing you're gonna do is point right back up to the ceiling. Got it? And then you're gonna put your hands down. Let's try that again. 5, 6, just the hands. Point up to me, to up and down. 5, 6, 7 goes. Up, me, up, down. So with the words, it goes, you will keep in perfect. Got it? 5, 6, I'm gonna talk slow. You will keep in perfect. Again, 5, 6, 7 goes. You will keep in perfect. Got it. Peace is simply the hands of peace. Hear it? Right? Here we go. Prayer hands. So you're gonna go, you will keep in perfect peace. Awesome. Let's do that a little faster. 5, 6, little faster goes. You will keep in perfect peace. Again, 5, 6 with the words and the hands. You will keep in perfect peace. Awesome. Moving on. From here, you're gonna take your left shoulder and you're going to move it towards your right. Good. And then your right shoulder is gonna move it towards your left. Let's try that. Just your shoulders. 5, 6 with your left first. Move in and move in. Good. Right. Now, the next move we're gonna do is we're just gonna point up. Boop. That's it. Right? So let's do the arms from the top, the arms and the words. Here we go. 5, 6, 7 goes. You will keep in perfect peace all who trust in you, all whose thoughts are fixed in you. All right, friends, you got it. We're gonna do one more time, the arms and the verse, then we'll add the legs, the Bible verse, and then we'll add a little beat. Here we go. 5, 6, the arms and the verse. You will keep in perfect peace all who trust in you, all whose thoughts are fixed on you. Good. Now let's add the legs. 5, 6, all 3 goes. You will keep in perfect peace. Tap, touch. All who trust in you, all whose thoughts are fixed on you. Ha! You got it. All right, friends. Are you guys ready to put the legs, the hands, the verse, and a little beat together? Sweet. If you need to practice, now is the time to hit pause, rewind it, practice again, and get ready for us. Are you ready? Here we go. Let's call them out. A little beat. A little beat. Hey! You ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Give me a beat. Isaiah 26:3 says, you will keep in perfect peace all who trust in you, all whose thoughts are fixed on you. Ha! Here we go, one more time. Together. 5, 6, 7 goes. You will keep in perfect peace all who trust in you, all whose thoughts are fixed on you. Ha! One more time. Isaiah 26:3 goes, you will keep in perfect peace all who trust in you, all whose thoughts are fixed on you. Ha! Yeah, yeah. Thanks, guys. Don't forget to practice.
All right, guys. All right, here we go. If you're not on your feet, let's get there. When the world feels like it's shaking, when my heart feels like it's breaking, walking over waves can be hard to do. Take my hand, you're a hero, Jesus. You're the one who never leaves us. Whatever comes my way, I'm holding on to you. Here we go. You won't let go. You won't let go. I know I'm not alone in the fire. I know I'm not alone in the storm. You won't let go. You won't let go of me. When the world around me is changing, when my heart feels what I'm facing, standing in the flames can be hard to do. Take my hand, you're the hero, Jesus. You're the one who never leaves us. Whatever comes my way, I'm holding on to you. Here we go. You won't let go. You won't let go. I know I'm not alone in the fire. I know I'm not alone in the storm. You won't let go. You won't let go of me. Here we go. Let go of me. You won't let go. You won't let go. You won't let go. I know I'm not alone in the fire. I know I'm not alone in the storm. You won't let go. You won't let go of me.
Great job worshiping, you guys. All right, we're gonna start with a Bible story. I'm gonna tell you a story about Jesus, and then Mr. Christian's gonna come and he's got another story about Jesus. They're pretty similar stories, but you'll notice the difference, okay? So here we go. So here's the deal. In Matthew 8, Jesus gets into a boat. He is getting in the boat with all of his disciple friends. So the thing is, back then, they didn't have cars. They didn't even ride horses. They just got into boats when they needed to go places. So they were traveling to go to their next stop. And this is kind of new in the relationship between all of the disciples and Jesus. So they're still getting to know one another. So you get in this boat. They're traveling a long distance to go to a new place. And Jesus falls asleep. He's taking a nap. Sounds good, right? On a boat, that'd be cool. And all of his disciples are probably hanging around doing the same thing, chilling, talking to one another. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this big massive storm comes. And the storm causes it's raining and there's massive waves and the boat starts rocking. And all of a sudden, I mean, these boats were not big back then. So I'd imagine the boat starting to tip and they're all screaming and trying to not die. And they are fighting for their life in this storm. And all of a sudden they realize, wait, we're all screaming, where is Jesus? And he is asleep still. I guess he was a hard sleeper. I'm sure some of your dads are like that too, right? So Jesus was asleep. He's knocked out. Everyone else is panicking and they wake him up and say, Jesus, we're gonna die. You have to help us. And Jesus wakes up and he's like, why are you guys freaking out? And he literally says to them, why do you have no faith? And then he turns and he looks at the waves and he says, calm. And he looks at the rain and he says, calm. And everything calms. So it goes from all this loud noise and everything's moving and all of a sudden, one word and everything stops. And the disciples are like, wow. And they look at Jesus and they're talking to one another and they're like, who is this guy? Remember, I said they didn't know each other very well yet. And they're like, who's this guy? He can even make the wind stop and the rain stop and the waves stop. He is someone different. He is someone we have not met before. Can you imagine if you're on that boat and you feel like you're about to die because the waves are rolling the boat all over the place and someone just stands up and says a word and everything stops? How crazy, right? But that's our God. Jesus is the Son of God. He says stop and everything stops. It's so incredible. So when we listen to God, when we're discussing God, and we're thinking about God, it makes it really easy for us to do whatever God tells us to do because we know we can trust him. We can have faith that when he says stop, it's gonna stop. When he says go, we should go, right? When he's got plans, they're gonna happen. We're gonna see those plans happen. So I wanna help you guys think of it a different way. We're gonna go visit some friends. Mr. Christian's gonna actually introduce you to some new friends. Let's see what they have to say about this whole trusting in God and having faith thing, okay? Off we go.
Well, hey there, Timmy.
Well, gee, mister, you scared the bejeebers out of me.
What are you doing?
I'm just eating my lunch.
That looks mighty tasty.
Sure is.
Well, how about you stop carving up and let's start working out.
Well, gee, mister, that sounds great.
All right, well, how about you exit the screen and let's move on to the next scene.
Okay. Gee willikers.
Pretty neat, isn't it?
Boy, is it.
This is what we call a gymnasium.
Wow.
Say hi to Champ here for me.
Hiya, champ. I'm Timmy.
See, Champ's one of the strongest people in the entire world.
Whoa.
Yep, so he's gonna show us how to do a little bit of working out today.
All right.
You ready, Timmy?
Sure am.
All right, Champ. Why don't you put those weights away and let's get started. So first of all, Champ's gonna show us exactly how to do a kettlebell swing.
Okay.
Go for it, Champ. Look at the form.
Wow.
Look at his muscles. All right, Timmy. I think it's about your turn.
Okay.
Give it a go.
Here we go.
Timmy, how about you start with something a little bit more your size? All right, remember, good form, head up, back straight, and flex those muscles. Great job, Timmy. How do you feel?
I feel great.
Awesome. Well, Champ, how about you show us how to do a little bit of curls?
Wow.
Look at the weight on the bar. That's a lot, isn't it, Timmy?
It sure is.
You watching his form?
Yep.
How does it look?
It looks great.
All right, why don't you give it a try?
Okay.
Remember to keep perfect form. Try it again. All right, that's enough, Timmy. Hey, Champ, how about you move the big weight and let's get him something more appropriate. This looks like something more useful for you.
All right.
Give it a go, Timmy. Remember the form you watched. Hey, Champ, why don't you give him a spot? Excellent job, Timmy. How do you feel?
I feel great.
Great job, Timmy. All right, let's put that weight down. All right, guys. Well, it's been nice hanging out with you. Remember, Working out takes work, weights, optimal effort, recreational ability to do things, and consistency. What's that spell?
Work, but with a C.
That's right. All right, guys, we'll let you have at it. We'll see you next time.
Hello everybody, welcome to Kidz Church. Today we're going to tell you another story. This is the second part in this trusting and faith in God. I mean, trust, you get it. Okay, anyways, so today we're going to talk to you about Peter walking on the water. But here's the deal. As you saw in the last video, faith is like a muscle, okay? It's something you gotta work at. So now, the story. So the story begins with Jesus preaching on a mountain. And it doesn't start there, but it's good backstory. So the guys just came out of this awesome church service where Jesus just so happened to, feed 5,000 people using 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread, but that's not including the women and the children. That was just the men that were accounted for. So that's like roughly 1,500 people, or let's say 10,000? Yeah, 10,000, 5,000. If some of them had wives and some of them had kids, then we'll say like 10,000 people. So they just had this awesome church service where like a miracle happened, y'all. And then Jesus is like, all right, guys, here's what I want you to do. I want you guys to go to cross this sea. In the meantime, I'm gonna go pray because I gotta spend some time with my Father. And so that's what he did. He went and prayed, and the guys set sail to cross the sea, but they were met by one ungodly encounter. What happened? The boat began to shake. The waves started going to and fro, and then the wind was howling. It was like, and the storm hit, and all of a sudden the boat was rocking, things were going crazy. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, we're gonna die. They're looking around, where's Jesus? He's not in the boat because he's out there praying, and we're here to die. So the guys were freaking out, and then someone pointed past the waves, and they're like, look, there's something in the distance. And another guy was like, oh my gosh, it's a ghost. And so they're like, oh my gosh, a ghost is coming after us. They literally saw something coming towards them on top of the waves and the water, again, coming towards them. They're freaking out. They think that we're gonna die. But the story turns really awesome, okay? So as the figure begins to approach even closer, one of the people says, wait, hold up a second, I think I know who that is. And then all of a sudden, through all of the wind and the waves and the yelling and the screaming and they hear a voice that shouted, do not fear. And they're like, oh, hold up, I know that voice. It was Jesus literally walking on the water, coming to them in the midst of the storm. In the midst of the storm, Jesus walks to the people. Now, these disciples are chilling in the boat, freaking out. Jesus comes walking to him on the water, and Peter gets the gumption, I think that's a word. He gets the gall to say, hey, 1, 2, 3, eyes on me. All right, just making sure you're paying attention. Jesus is walking to them on the water. Peter's like, hey, Lord, if that's really you, then tell me to walk out on the water. And Jesus said one word. He said, come. And so literally at that point, let me give you let me give you something, okay? At that point, when Jesus said come, literally anyone in the boat could have walked on the water to Jesus. But there was only one man, Peter, the rock. His name is actually Simon, which means to be a reed. It gets tossed to and fro by the waves and the wind. But Peter, the rock, he steps out of the boat onto the water. He starts walking. His eyes were fixed on Jesus. He's walking, and all of a sudden, he looks to his left, looks to his right, looks behind Jesus. He sees the storm, the wind, the waves crashing, loses sight of what he was supposed to do, and starts to drown. He drops underneath the water, and he's like, help me. And then Jesus reaches down, grabs him, pulls him up, walks back to the boat, puts him in, and the storm ceases. Now, that is the context in which we are talking about. Now, here's the deal. Remember, anybody could have walked out on the water, but it was Peter that did it. Now, let me break this down for you. There was nothing super special about Peter other than I present to you Exhibit A, relationship. There's no exhibit to really present. But faith the Bible says comes by hearing and hearing the word of God. There's another side of faith that links this story together so well that when it comes to having faith or trusting in God, that's found and rooted in relationship with Jesus. So the same way that you can't just start off lifting a bunch of weight, you have to start somewhere small. So trusting God in the little things leads to trusting him with the big things. So you'll find throughout all of the Bible that there's different relationships that people have with Jesus. Now, this relationship can be built off of a personal connection to Jesus, like Peter and the other disciples, or it could be like the Roman centurion that we learned about a couple weeks ago, where he knew of Jesus and he knew of his power, so he harnessed that in his belief system, and his servant was healed with just the word of Jesus. Now, I do want to point out one other thing, okay? Now, here's a crazier story. Peter was the only person to historically that we know of to walk on the water with Jesus because he had a certain level of relationship with him. But I want to bring it back to the future. In the future, all of the disciples were martyrs. If you don't know what that is, look it up or ask your parents, which is probably a better move. So they all died for the sake of the gospel, right? But there was one disciple who didn't die that same way. John, you guys know John, right? He's the guy who laid his head on Jesus at the supper, the last final supper. Anyways, so John had a very specific relationship. In all of the books that John wrote, he focused on the love of God, and John was the only disciple that didn't become a martyr. In fact, they tried to kill him. They tried to boil him alive, they tried to poison him, and they tried to cut his head off. And I don't know how that didn't work, but none of them did. But he had a relationship with the love of God, and that's what he focused on. So there's different ways to trust God and different levels to have faith, but it's all rooted in one, the word of God, and two, your relationship with God. So don't be a weakling in the faith. No, what you must do is you must start lifting small weights, okay? So start off with trusting God with something like getting good grades in school, okay? I one time knew a kid, he was failing in his classes. He's like, I'm not gonna graduate, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, bro, look, the Bible says, ask for wisdom and it will be given to you, okay? That's found in the book of James. So what we did is we prayed a really simple, really quick prayer. God, give me wisdom. And at the end of the year, the dude passed with flying colors. So work your faith in the smallest area that you can think of if you need to, okay? Trust God with good grades in school. And eventually you'll work up to getting awesome, huge things, like believing God for a financial miracle when you're older, like my age and stuff like that. I mean, that means money. Or believing God for a healing. You never know. But the big faith starts in the little things. Well, that's the story for today. Peter walking on the water, brought to you by me, the Christian, the guy, the dude who tells stories. Guys, have a good Sunday or Saturday or any other day of the week that you might be watching this. We love you. And until next time, stay classy, San Diego and other parts of the world.
Oh, come on, kids. We're gonna keep going. Put those hands together. Ha, ha, ha. Sing this out with me. Waking up to another life. No more sorrow and no more night. You're the light, let it shine now. Let it shine now. Burning bright, cause we're not ashamed. Got a world to illuminate. You're the light, let it shine now. Let it shine now. You're the light, let it shine now. Let it shine now. Nothing can stand against us. Our praise will break the darkness. And we declare your kingdom's here. Because our God is for us. We're living in the promise. And we declare your kingdom's here. Whoa, whoa, is here with no end in sight. You're the light, let it shine now, let it shine now. You're the light, let it shine now, let it shine now. Nothing can stand against us. Our praise will break the darkness, and we declare your kingdom's here. Because our God is for us, we're living in the promise, and we declare your kingdom's here. Here we go. Shine a light, shine a light. 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 We got a light and we're gonna shine. Jesus, let your name be glorified. We got a light and we're gonna shine. Forever let your name be glorified. We got a light and we're gonna shine. Jesus, let your name be glorified. We got a light and we're gonna shine. Forever let your name be glorified.